Hi everyone, here's another video. This is mostly like vinyl and a few CDs this time. I'm buying tapes this month. But yeah, so it's coming up to Christmas and I've been meaning to save money, but unfortunately November has been a month where there's been a couple of big, well, for me, big releases. I was trying to. One of them I expected. The other one just came out of the blue, and yeah. So I've been sort of rearranging my record collection. But first off, I'll talk about the CDs. Firstly, I'm going to show this one, Dexys Midnight Runners, or Dexys as they're called now. Nowhere is Home, the soundtrack. And this is a soundtrack to a concert film. And I have to admit, this took me by surprise. It is very good. The first disc maybe isn't the best. It's more a note for note take on their latest album. And that, I think it's was it For Now I'm Gonna Soar. I forgot the title, but yeah, their latest album, which it's not my favourite Dexys album, I'll admit that. But the second disc, where they do, they turn they totally alter the tracks on there. Gino's a completely different tempo. So is Tell Me When My Light Turns Green, and This Is What She's Like. This is what she's like from oh shit. Hi everyone, this is another vinyl update. This month I did plan to cut back a bit. In fact, I've been trying to cut back a bit, but it doesn't seem to work. Vinyl addiction is something that's really hard to shift. But yeah, I've been buying a few things recently. Earlier on today, I went to Bristol and traded some stuff in, just to make some room for some records. But it's led me to be sort of all this lack of space. I've been very more sort of conscientious about what I'm buying. In Bristol they had some very cheap vinyl there. They had sort of tons of Jayhawks records, and it's like, well, I've never heard of the Jayhawks records, and if I had more room, I'd probably have bought it. I think they might be sort of alternative country, I'm not sure, but I will give them a try for £3. But I thought to myself, well, I don't have the room. There's a finite amount of space, and yeah, so it's a case of if I want to buy something called vinyl, I have to clear out the space somehow, and I had to get rid of a few records which I think they weren't ones that I'm particularly going to miss, but I did it because there are some records that I really wanted this month. But yeah, I'll start off with the CDs, and first off, Nowhere is Home by Dexys Midnight Runners. This is actually quite good, but the second disc is better than the first, which is, the first is they do their latest album on there, note for note, but the second disc, where they actually sort of alter the tempos of some of their classic songs like Gino and Tell Me When the Light Turns Green, and they changed This Is What She's Like into this 20-minute epic. It was already long on Don't Stand Me Down. But yeah, totally recommend it. This was on sale on Amazon for £5. for those who haven't noticed, you know, I recently did an interview with Ian Anderson and Jethro Tull. They just released this, which I got through as a promo, which is Too Old to Rock and Roll, Too Young to Die. It's a pretty sort of middling Jethro Tull album. It's actually not too bad. I mean, there is a handful of really good songs on here, even if they're low key. I mean, there's a Taxi Grab, Crazed Institution, the title track on there, Big Dipper and Pied Piper. They're all good songs. Yeah, I mean, it's and Steve Wilson, his remixing is very good. I've already all of a sudden sort of had a big appreciation for it. I mean, I've also got Aqualung. And I know, I mean, I've compared the two on this, and I know a couple of people mentioned they've got the vinyl as this, and Steve Wilson did an amazing job. You know, I don't really care if I never hear the original version again. But yeah, this has all been a bit of a sudden thing. I know some of the prog heads on the internet don't like him. I know Darren Locke called him Jethro Tull. But no, I've got a weird soft spot for him. And this one, Minster on the Gallery, is another good one. It's a bit of an acquired taste, that one. I know their music's a bit sort of a bit whimsical for some people's tastes. But over time, I've sort of got into bands that are maybe a bit more of that kind of mood, I suppose. Yeah, this next record has to be the worst pressing. This is another Dexys album. Absolutely hideous pressing. This is Don't Stand Me Down, which is one of their better records. Certainly one of their more difficult albums. This was a record store day release. And Universal were charging £24 for it. It's on purple vinyl. I mean, this is probably the best copy I've got so far, and it's slightly scratched. It's a very loud pressing, which is disappointing because it's a bit like with Spirit of Eden by Talk Talk. There's a lot of very, very quick passages, and you really need someone to really put the effort in with a pressing like this. You don't want it. Even if you get a bit of crackle on there, you know, on most records it's fine, but on something is sort of delicate as this, it does get a bit of a distraction. Okay, so we've got, yeah, one thing that I really like Light in the Attic. You know, I bought a lot of their releases. I think that of all the reissue labels, they're the ones that I bought the most off of. You know, I try to think of what all the stuff I got, but yeah, I noticed they were re-releasing these. Lee Hazlewood. You know, I first got into Lee Hazlewood via, I was doing a review from a website, and I think I got that LHI Lee Hazlewood Industries box set. There's some very good stuff on there. There was Cowboy in Sweden on there, which is probably Cowboy in Sweden and Requiem for an Almost Lady. Those are my two favourite Lee Hazlewood albums. Particularly Requiem because it's more stripped down. It's an album that even people who find his music a bit chintzy still like. I mean, these two are actually quite good. They're not as good as the ones he did for LHI. These are ones that he recorded for MGM in, I think this might be around the time when he was writing songs with Nancy Sinatra. I think this one's my favourite because it's got After Six on it, and In Our Time, which was actually a song that Nancy Sinatra did. But Lee Hazlewood's version is much more curmudgeonly. He does sound a bit like a sort of a grumpy old man who's looking at the 60s, the sort of drug culture and all that, through a very cynical lens. But yeah, I saw them and I just wanted them because it used to be, I think a few years back, a couple of years back when I first got into Lee Hazlewood, his albums were stupidly difficult to find. And some of them still are. I mean, some of them were only issued in Sweden, where he lived to in the 70s. So yeah, moving on to what I got today. So yeah, I ordered this a little while back. Swans. This is White Light from the Mouth of Infinity and Love of Life. I previously owned Love of Life, original of it, but it was in really terrible shape. So here's the booklet, and it comes with a CD with bonus tracks on. I mean, some of the bonus tracks are pretty good. I've already listened to it. I haven't played these albums yet, but yeah, White Light and Love of Life. I mean, this is from the era. You get a poster. I think you get both of them. I mean, this was after they did The Burning World, which is the really most hated album in the Swans canon. But I actually like bits of it, and it seems that they sort of carried on this style. You know, there's some heavier tracks on Love of Life. It's maybe a bit more diverse. I think Jarbo gets more time on vocals. But yeah, I'm really pleased that these are back in print. But I'm really hoping that they bring Children of God back into print. I mean, I think any time Swans release anything, I'm straight on Amazon pre-ordering it. When I saw them playing Bristol in 2012, that was when I discovered them, and that gig just blew me away. When they did To Be Kind, which was yet to be recorded or released on an album, it started off with a very slow sort of intro, very quiet. And then as soon as Lauren Westberg hits one chord on his guitar, you know, you actually feel it. And yeah, probably the best gig I've been to, easily. It was very good. But yeah, to make room for that box set, I shrunk down my collection a bit and traded some stuff in. So I got these two things. Firstly, I got the Fugs, another Fugs album. This one's Golden Filth, live at the Fillmore East. And they had some other Fugs albums there in sort of minty condition. Although these reprise pressings from the US do look very dull, I suppose. I mean, there's a hairline. It's not in perfect condition, but it looks alright. I mean, I showed off It Crawled Into My Hands Honest, which was what I got last time I went to Bristol. That pressing was pretty dreadful, very, very noisy. But yeah, please have this. Maybe listen later. And this one's an upgrade. The Damned Machine Gun Etiquette. And this one is actually an original one, Chiswick. And this does look, there's a scuff here and there. Well, there's one or two scuffs. Some light, very light hairlines. I mean, this looks in pretty nice shape. I haven't played it yet. But, I mean, Machine Gun Etiquette is one of my favourite punk albums. Very sort of garage rock influenced. Like, I mean, garage rock in the sense of before Stooges and MC5, when you had those more sort of those sort of Nuggets era bands. Imagine that, but a bit more hyperactive. I mean, this is a great album. I did get one more album, but Silk Degrees, a bit of a guilty pleasure, but unfortunately it's trashed. I thought I'd have a gamble for £2 in a charity shop. It's all for a good cause, I suppose, but no, it's trashed, which is a pity, but it won't cost me much to get an upgrade. But yeah, that's about all the records I have for December. I do hope to do another video later this month, doing my sort of favourite and least favourite albums of the year, talking about that. But yeah, until then, goodbye.